Okay, today we're going to be talking about Heroic Coiled Altar. This fight, we're just going to be going over strategy. We talked about most of the mechanics in my preseason boss overview. Um, this is our marker setup for the fight. We have the corners marked, and then two sort of off-center markers of circle and diamond, and then we have a gateway from triangle towards the middle of the room. The fight starts immediately with the boss spawning the two altar puddles and spawning his first set of orbs. A big change on Heroic is that popping orbs with the frontal is much more deadly. We're only looking to do 4 to 5 pops with any given tank cleave. 4 stacks is relatively safe. 5 stacks, we're scared. Anything above that, we are very scared. So the default is going to be 4 in every single cleave. You see here they gather 4 behind the boss. The boss is going to turn around and do the frontal. We're going to have a mobile ranged assigned to be doing these. So hunters, mages, and evokers are going to be looking to gather these orbs up. As soon as the first cleave goes off, we're looking to gather the next set of orbs for the next frontal. So we're going to get 2 frontals in a row. And then we're going to get the first guillotine. This guillotine is going to triangle. We're assigning ranged, whoever's the off tank at the time, and healers to soak this. We want melee staying on the boss, focusing on damage. We're only going to get 1 guillotine in this phase, so we don't have to worry about the debuff that it gives or anything like that. As soon as the guillotine goes off, we're gating out. And then after that, we're just focusing on orbs until the end of the phase. Again, 4 to 5 on every cleave. A big important thing to note here is when we're looking to transition, we want Zul'jin to die in the middle of the room to make the intermission easier. And we need to be looking at our stacks and how many orbs are left on the arena, because when you push Zul'jin to 0%, any remaining orbs on the arena will instantly pop and give the raid a stack per orb. You can see here as they transition out of the first phase, they still have stacks left over. They have like 5 seconds left on the stack debuff of 4 stacks, so they're holding DPS until these stacks fall off. And as soon as these stacks fall off, they push the boss. You see the stacks fall off, they push the boss, the remaining orbs pop. We have 5 stacks. And we're just kind of stacking up for heals here. Good place for, so if we have a large number of stacks, they have 5 here, a little scary. Good place for AMZ or darkness, things like that, because we're not doing damage. We're just chilling stacked, waiting for the next boss to spawn. When the next boss spawns, we're going to diamond with the boss. He's immediately going to do the first MC on spawn. We want to be stacked on this marker for the MCs. We're breaking these people out as fast as possible. An important thing to note is these guillotines that are flying around, they move very randomly. Like they can change directions basically on a dime. And you can see here that they had a guillotine close to the stack marker and it turned on them right here. It's on you can't really see it, but it turned on them during the MCs and killed like 4 people, right? So if there's a lot of guillotines around our stack marker, we just need to be very careful. We can adjust slightly. We don't want to be super close to any of these guillotines because they can just turn on us and kill people. As soon as these ghosts spawn, we're looking for the heroic ad spawn, and the heroic ad is the soul coiler. We talked about this in my preseason boss video as well. It's just a single ad that spawns. You can see this green line going to where he's going to spawn it, so we kind of know where he's going to spawn it a little bit before it spawns. As soon as we see that green line, we're pulling the boss to that ad. And DPSing it down. We're focusing damage on this ad, cleaving off of the ad to the boss. We want to make sure we assign kicks here. At least the first kick it needs to be assigned. Likely it's going to be, Lolup or someone like that, a ranged player who can get that first kick. We're milking it because as soon as you kick, he teleports about 10 yards away. So we want to kick it as close to the end of the cast as possible so he doesn't move. Once we get to this ad, we're stacking on him and looking at our ghosts so that they stay stacked up for the cleave. If you have a ghost that's way off, like out of the cleave, you need to make sure you get it centered with the rest of the ghosts so that we can cleave all of them and with one cleave. Once we get here, there's also going to be 3 gloom bombs assigned to range that do not have ghosts. These range need to spread out. Everyone else should sort of be stacked on our ad and boss stack, so the gloom bombs have space to spread. Remember, if you get this gloom bomb, you have to pick up your soul fragments after, or else you instantly die. if you don't pick them up. You see the Gloom Bomb goes off. We're still focusing on the ad. Second kick is going to make it teleport again. We're getting a tank cleave. This is getting turned on the ghosts, cleaving those down. And then from here, we're going to get the next MC. This MC is the same. We're going to get a bunch of people MC'd. We're DPSing them down. They're going to spawn ghosts. We're looking for the next ad spawn in another corner, going to the ad and doing the same thing, right? So that's basically the whole phase is MC, ghost spawns, move to the ad spawn, get gloom bombs out, turn cleave at ghost, repeat. After the first 2 ads that we deal with, the boss is going to shield himself with Eternal Nightfall. This is one of the scariest things during the fight is this Eternal Nightfall cast. We're going to take heavy raid damage while this shield is active. We're focusing on breaking that shield as fast as possible and kicking the boss. We're going to want a melee kick on this because ranged are focused on kicking the ads. And we just want to kick it as soon as it's available to be kicked. Probably after that first shield, we're going to get one more ad spawn. We want to make sure we finish off that ad before we phase, so we might have to slow damage a little bit. We want to go to that ad with the ghosts, focus on killing that ad, and then we'll phase the boss. We want to make sure we phase the boss a little bit away from Zul'jin, so not in the center of the room, so he doesn't absorb any damage, because he's immune during the intermission. We don't want him absorbing anyone's automatic cleave, so he's going to be off to the side a little bit. Remember that when he dies, he does a knockback, so we're probably going to have someone like Pikachu or someone extra assigned to call that knock is going to happen. As you know, that's just going to be the main thing that they're going to focus on, just so we have a backup. We don't want anyone getting knocked off the arena. As soon as he spawns that shield, he's going to start soul binding into Zul'jin. Zul'jin's 100% increased damage taken here. We're lusting this intermission, and we're ranged or spreading out a bit around the boss to soak these ghosts that are coming in. They do a little bit more damage on heroics, so we need to watch raid HP, make sure we're not killing people by soaking these ghosts, but there are a lot of them. So we really don't want any of these to go into Zul'jin. And we're soaking them until the phase is over. Once the phase is over, we go into phase 3. Phase 3 is a combination of phase 1 and phase 2 mechanics. It's going to start basically immediately with orb spawns and a guillotine. We're going to swap a couple of ranged players that were in the first soak out with melee so that those ranged players can focus on collecting some orbs here. We're getting, again, about 4 to 5 orbs stacked up for the first cleave. We're going to get a guillotine basically immediately. That's going to the same corner marker. They're gating out. This orb set is going to overlap with the Eternal Nightfall shield. This is the most scariest part of the fight, is having these orb stacks with the shield at the same time. So again, we can probably lower the stacks. Don't go above 4. They actually get 6 stacks here. They survived it. It is healable. It's just very scary. You see they're going to get 6 stacks. And then immediately after the cleave, Malakras is going to do his shield. So we're taking the shield damage on top of a 6 stack. Very scary. Look at their health bars. But they lived it. After the shield, we are going to get the first set of MCs for the phase. We're not going to be in a corner like we were in P2. We're just kind of going to be on one side of the arena. The MCs, we're going to stack under the boss as soon as this Eternal Nightfall ends for the Dread March. We're DPSing down any MCs. In this phase, a cleave basically happens right as the Dread March goes out. We want to make sure this is pointed away from the raid. So we're going to get these ghost spawns. Don't immediately rush to go to the other side of the room. Wait for this cleave to go out. This cleave, we want to pop a couple orbs. So we'll have a few remaining orbs in the middle from before. Those will get hit by the cleave. The ghost will spawn. As soon as the cleave happens, we're going across the room, the same way we did it in normal. We're looking to still pick up some orbs here. We're going to get Gloom Bomb spawns. Those are going to spread out. We're looking at our ghosts. We're getting orbs. Anyone who is targeted by these Gloom Bombs doesn't have a ghost, right? So as soon as these Gloom Bombs go off, you can look to help with orbs. Off tank can look to help with orbs. We want to get like 4 orbs stacked on these ghosts for when this next cleave goes out. We are cleaving the stack of ghosts with any orbs inside. And then we're going to get some Gloom Bombs. Remember, we're always going to want to be looking to be stacked on the bosses so that it's easier for Gloom Bombs to have space for spreading. And then we're just DPSing down the boss. Remember, they have to die at the same time. If you want to prio one, Zul'jin dying first is a lot better than Malakras dying first. Zul'jin being alive last basically is insta-wipe. He will just start killing everyone. But Hexlord being alive last is just like a little stacking damage increase, so it's not super deadly. But we want them to die as close as possible to the same time. Basically, the bosses are going to die around this point in the fight, but if we have people dead and we're looking to play more of the fight, we're going to get another shield into MCs. You'll see here they get a shield, and then players are going to get MC'd. We can stop worrying about orbs at this point in the fight. They're not going to be dangerous to us, but we're going to break out any MCs, go across the room, and then we'll get a guillotine. It'll be good to have a second group of basically anyone who didn't soak the first guillotine be on standby to do this second guillotine if we have to do it. It's unlikely we will have to, but it's a possibility if we have a lot dead, right? If at least 5 people don't get in this guillotine, we just wipe instantly. So we want to have a contingency of people who are ready to do this if we have to. And then the boss should die around there.